So I picked up this bike on the internet, FreeGo DK200. And there wasn't a lot of information about it on the internet. There was one guy who went by the name of Solar Cabin. I'll put a link in the description, but he had done a review on it. And so that's what kind of made me decide, like, yeah, maybe this is something that would work out. But anyway, so I'm going to unbox it, put it together, and then do some testing on it, right? I'm gonna do a speed test, a distance test. It's got like 1,200 watts of power and like 2,000 peak. So I'm gonna put it together and then we'll do some test rides. Tool set and probably the charger is in that box. The massive 20 amp hour battery. That's like a third of the weight of the bike itself. So I did get the bike put together, but I didn't leave it exactly stock. And the reason why is because right away I took it out for a ride and I was okay with it, but then my wife took it out for a ride and she decided the seat was too uncomfortable and there's no way that was gonna work. The problem is ischial tuberosities and interischial tuberosity distance. You can see that this is the stock seat and this distance, I don't know, is about 6 inches or so. And for me, it was like, it wasn't super comfortable, but it was all right. But for her, it was too narrow. Didn't feel good. This Springer Solo seat that I got off of Amazon used is 9 inches and it's much more comfortable. I also got these relatively inexpensive rear view mirrors. One thing to note about it is, if this might be true of other EV bikes, but if you have it on and you happen to be sort of standing alongside of it and pushing it, be careful with that because it can just take off. All right, I've got the bike charged up and ready to go and ready to collect some data. I have added these rear view mirrors in the seat, but I don't think that's gonna make a big difference in terms of weight or aerodynamics as far as testing the bike out. Wow. That was a bad deal. Interesting. All right, so that was interesting thing that happened. I don't know how much of it shows up on the video, but I was going along and actually I'd gone about 10 miles and everything seemed okay. I'd only used maybe like 60% of the battery. And then I went over a particularly bad pothole and the battery just popped out of the, of the frame. I'm gonna have to look at Velcro straps or something to put on to secure it. I don't know, I gotta look into that. And you can see where the battery got kind of scuffed up because I was going 30 miles an hour or probably 25 when I went over the pothole. But I just picked it up and put it back in the frame and then just came directly home. But definitely need something to secure that. I found this cinch strap that I can put on here temporarily just to make sure that the battery stays on. The thing was that I did have this in the lock position, so there's a little metal tab and it was down and the battery still popped out anyways. So that's not good. 28 there. You have to, it seems like it helps if I pedal to get it going from the start. Linking 1 bar for the battery power. So to wrap up, combining the first ride before the battery fell off with a distance of 9.7 miles with the second ride where the battery meter started blinking with a distance of 11.2 miles, the bike went a total distance of 20.9 miles on a full charge. And that was basically full throttle on the highest speed setting and not much pedaling. The speedometer on the bike didn't match the accelerometer on the phone. Whatever the bike meter showed, the phone showed 2-3 miles per hour less. The top speed I saw on the bike was 34 miles per hour. However, I used both the phone and a Garmin GPS for second and third sources on max speed and got 31 miles per hour and 32.1 miles per hour respectively. Pros: it has a large battery at 20 amp hours. The motor is high power at 1200 watts continuous and 2000 watts peak. The frame seems well built and the twist throttle works well, very similar to my motorcycle. Cons: well, there's no rear suspension. The stock seat is pretty narrow and may be uncomfortable for some riders. It's single speed, basically an electric fixie. Although the headlight looks cool, the headlight mount is flimsy and will need to be reinforced somehow. And of course, the battery falls off on hard jolts and will need to be secured with Velcro straps or some other solution. So, how would I rate this bike? Well, it does have some speed and range. You'd be hard to beat for the price. So it's not a gutter. But the lack of comfortable seat combined with the fact that it's a hardtail keeps it from being a strike. All in all, I would rate the FreeGo DK200 an impressive spare. Well, that's it. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and more importantly, leave a comment below if there are additional tests you would like me to do with the bike, or if you would like more information on anything in particular. And thanks for watching.